Hey, y'all, welcome back to In the Blind Podcast. My name is Eric Gunderson. This is my co-host, Stephen Barker-Lyles.
Hey, it's me.
And we are Love and Theft. Today we're joined by a special guest, a guy that we've known for a few months now. You may recognize him from his television fame on American Idol. Y'all make some, or not make some noise. I've said that a lot, but there's no one to make noise. This is a podcast. So
I can, Eric. I can
make
noise.
Welcome, Mr. Slater Nalley.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah.
Happy Monday.
It's been fun to watch your rise to stardom.
Well, thank you.
I feel like we've had a little bit of a front row seat. You
Well,
played our showcase for us a little while back, and
Thank you for that.
yeah.
and I guess you just signed a record deal too, right?
I did. Yes, just signed with Warner. Super excited.
Nice.
I've been in town for a little while now. I moved here about 2 months ago, like y'all were saying, and I was really happy to come and do that round out here. Super fun. Just a great environment here, and Nashville's been so good to me, and I was real skeptical at first of like the whole label side of things, and it ended up being the best team that I could have asked for, and otherwise I don't know if I would have made that decision. So very grateful that everybody kind of came around, and grateful for the show, because without the show wouldn't be able to move here. So
Yeah, and it's wild. I mean, to hear you say like you've been in town for a few months. I mean, how has that been? Just coming off of a TV show like that, and has it been a complete whirlwind? Just going from, guy from Georgia trying to make it, and I mean, how has that catapult really been, and how has that experience been landing here really on your feet more so than a lot of people?
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said, very grateful and fortunate to have had that opportunity. But, it's like you go on Idol, and it's a TV show, right? So it's a lot of in-your-face cameras, things like that, and it's a lot of quick responses on the internet. Like, you do a live show, and you gain this many followers. You do this, and you gain this many followers. I went from 2,000 followers to 180,000 followers from the show.
Yeah, that's wild.
So the show takes you like this, and then when the show's over, it just goes like that, But I was lucky enough to where, they were interested in me after the show, and I've just been in town writing and making music the way that I want to do it, and the way that I've always dreamed of doing it, and making good country music, and that's one thing that I'll never ever change, and nobody will be able to change that about me, and
that's
y'all
cool.
too, like once you found your lane, you hit that lane and you don't stop, you know what I mean, and that's what everybody's teaching me, and I'm learning a lot, which is the cool part, you learn so much being 18 in a brand new city. Sometimes it's scary, and sometimes it's like weird, but most times it's just really, really good to have it happen,
Yeah. You're talking about your team at Warner, but just knowing the rest of your team. You've got a pretty incredible group of people that have kind of surrounded you and taken you under their wing, and Dallas Davidson, and
yes, absolutely,
Played Again Music.
Yes.
How's that been, having such a heavy hitter in the songwriting world? Helped you write songs and hone your craft?
Absolutely. I mean, Dallas is the best. He's so creative, as y'all know. He's just a great songwriter, and he's very versatile. Like he can very much do different kinds of music, and that's like one thing, like definitely that drew me towards him, is that he wasn't trying to make me do the things that he did. And he was happy that I was different. And so I think that was the driving factor of why I decided to go PIA, is because not only that, but they wanted me to be myself. They allowed me to be myself. They pushed me, and they're always very supportive of what I need for me.
Right.
And I think that at the end of the day, if that's not happening, you're doing the wrong thing. And so I've been very fortunate to be able to have PIA with me, and I also signed publishing there. So
that's fantastic.
We're doing publishing management at PIA, and then the labels at Warner. So
Nice.
really, really, really grateful.
Now, coming off of a show like American Idol, where, like you said, there's cameras in your face all the time. They're trying to get reactions. They're trying to have their moments that, excite their fan base. But for you, how is what is the contrast like between working with someone like Dallas and now a team like Warner, where you feel free to do what it is that you want to do as an artist, and you have a team of people behind you that are championing you as a talent and your art? How's that different from someone like coming from something like American Idol, where there are boxes that you might need to seemingly fit inside of.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's a little different for sure, but Idol was very helpful for me. I found a lot about myself during the process, my voice. I learned how to do things that I had never done, not because it was just because you practice so much. You're sitting in a room waiting to go on, and excuse me, you're sitting in a room and you're waiting to practice your song with your vocal trainer and whatever, and it's it's stressful. You got even when it got down to the top 10, we're all in rooms like this, but in this studio in L.A. I mean, I'd never been to L.A. I'd never been to California before the show, so it was definitely different. But being able to be there and learn the songs, it taught me a lot about what I'm capable of, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think it helped me because Dallas definitely was able to see kind of under pressure how I worked.
Right.
And I think that's what drew him towards me a little bit. And it's what drew me towards him is that he noticed that, you know what I mean? Sure. And so to answer your question, I'd say it is definitely different. I mean, there's no cameras in my face right now, but the big names do have cameras in their faces all the time.
Yep.
And I think that the show did a really good job of showing us the more media side of the business, which sometimes can be fun, sometimes can be shitty. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's interesting for me. I think for us, we've watched American Idol from the very beginning, so we got to see Kelly Clarkson, we got to see Carrie Underwood, and
Bucky Covington, our dude,
Kelly Pickler, people that came through and kind of made their mark on country music, and we've seen people that are wildly successful, and then people that have kind of come off of there and then never really achieved that fame. But I think the show is so different now, and I think back in the day, it was a TV show. It was something that was on TV. Right. There wasn't a whole lot of A&Ring. It was just the artists up there finding themselves throughout the process. Right. And now to know people that have been on the show, to talk to guys like yourself, I think it's almost like a gift for a label in a sense, because all the A&R has been done now at this point. Yeah. And the show is such an amazing production, and it's not like it was at the very beginning in the sense that they were playing on the same stage every night. Now there's different types of stages, different venues. You really get an experience as an artist of what it's like to almost tour and play these different venues. And I think it's incredible for the artists that come off of, say, American Idol versus a TikTok artist that's never played a live show, that's never had that experience. So it's almost like you guys got a leg up on everybody, whereas there used to be kind of a stigma that came with people that came off of a show they haven't paid their dues, they haven't figured out what it is to be an artist. But now it's almost, that's flipped completely, and it's now your artistry is really developed on that show. And then now, the business is
I feel like they're getting better artists on it now too, though, than they used to. Overall, actual artists like you.
Well, thank you, but I think that's a great point. Is a TikTok versus actually doing it, and that's such a big thing nowadays. Is the social media aspect, and I suck at it. I hate social media. I try and stay off my phone as much as I can, but you do have to get the attention of the internet a lot of times now to get a song to blow up, or something like that. So I'm trying to find a balance there, but I really think you're right. Is if I gigged for 4 years every summer in Michigan when we go with my family. My grandparents live there, so we go and visit them. It's 75 degrees in the summer up there. It's gorgeous. No sharks, no salt, just fresh water.
Pure Michigan.
You don't like sharks? Dang it.
I love sharks, just not swimming with them.
Yeah.
No, but I think that if I hadn't done that, sitting in the corner of a bar when nobody's listening to me, screaming over the crowd, trying to understand my voice as a 13 to 18-year-old, that was the most, that and Idol were the most helpful things for me learning my voice. And if I didn't do that, it'd be pretty tough to have performed on Idol. Yeah, you know what absolutely. I mean? Just going out there and doing it. I think the reason that I found that I love to do this is because I was playing in those bars where nobody was listening, So, I think that was a great point.
Yeah, it's coming from those mountaintop experiences on Idol where you're playing in front of tons of people. You make it close to, the final, and you're in the thick of it. To go from that then to kind of have a moment to breathe and step away from it and try to get your feet underneath you and figure out what it is that you want to do. How's it going from that and just the high energy all the time, having to be on, and then now not having all of those moments just over and over again. And now they're fewer and farther between, but also, you know, now it's not success necessarily coming from a show. It's stuff that you're building on your own now. How is that, like you said, navigating the ups and downs?
Like you said, it's about building it on your own. Like, obviously, I have a great team. I'm very grateful for that. But it's a brand now. Mm-hmm. American Idol is their own brand.
Right.
You know, like you have to represent them when you're on the show. I mean, you represent yourself, but it's under their name. Now I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? And so now I have to really make sure that I'm presenting myself, taking care of my voice, doing things that not everybody's doing, because I think something that I learned when I got here is everybody is going to – you got to think about it like everyone is doing what you're doing, right? Everyone's writing songs. Everyone's recording songs and singing that is in the music industry. But who wants it the most?
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, getting up, doing what I'm supposed to do, I mean, I'm really trying my best just to make sure that I can have those moments, those high moments that were on Idol, you know, but in the future. Because like you said, it's hard to go from this multi-million-dollar production and, you know, TV show that millions of people watch and then off on your own, even if you're with a label or even if you're with a great management team. Like, it's weird because you go from people texting you instant gratification, you did so good, or pick this song, you know, we voted for you, to, hey, what you up to now?
Right.
You know? And so it definitely takes a toll on you, but I think overall, I'm just happy that it happened. You know, if it hadn't happened, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, now you said you hate the social media side, but when I look at your social media, it seems like you're doing a great job.
It looks good.
Thanks.
Putting the right stuff out there, and you
have someone helping you or what?
I do, yes.
Lucky.
Alyssa from PI Management, she's been helping me a lot, and so is some of the social team at Warner. But a lot of it, I'm just trying to do some covers.
Yep.
Because, you know, sometimes covers you can blow it up. Like Briley King, I don't know if y'all know Marcus King, his wife. She just did a cover of The Night the Lights Went on Georgia, and it's on the charts. So it's like sometimes you can really just create something of your own that you never thought in a million years would go viral, and it'll go viral. You know, half the videos that went viral on my page I never thought would do anything, and the ones I thought would do good have like 500 views, you know, and the other ones are just crazy. So it definitely just depends on how I'm feeling, but I get real judged. The reason I hate it is because, I think social media divides us as everybody.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's just a bad way of getting information, and it's not always accurate. And then also, I'm real judgmental of myself. So when I record a video, I'm looking, do I look all right? Do I sound all right? Do I sound perfect? Is this going to go viral? But the best advice I got, even on Idol, was just to post and ghost. Because on Idol, they had a team that would make us post every day, make us do different captions, things like that. And it was great because I learned so much about repetition of posting and how that gets you traction. But at the same time, it was like sometimes it takes the joy away from the music for me, having to post it. You know, I'd rather just play a live set for somebody than have to post a video. But like I said, that's the way that we are now, and I gotta adapt to it. You know, everybody else is. So.
Yeah, it's easier said than done, I think.
Yes,
because,
definitely.
I mean, even in our case, it's like, okay, we know we need to be consistent. You know, we have X amount of followers, and we need to feed the beast, and but it's hard to, as an artist, to, like you said, do the repetitious posting where it feels like, oh, I'm doing the same thing over and over. It seems so, you know, self-indulgent, and you know, we must love ourselves, and that's the feeling that you're getting when you're putting it out there. But there's so few people that are actually seeing that post. So to get out of that mentality and to quit being so judgmental of your own art and the image and the brand you're putting out there, you know, it's so easy to put something out there that, you know, seems so silly and trivial to you, yet your fan base might absolutely latch onto that. So you also have to be careful about, okay, if I put this out there and they latch onto this, does that now define me as an artist?
100%.
And that's a scary thing too.
100%.
You know, your fate as far as a social media star or an influencer is, it is in your own hands, but it's only so much in your own hands. And now it can now be taken and blown up into something, that you never really realize that, it can take a life of its own, and that's a frightening thing, because it might not be what you want to take on a life of its own.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's weird. You could post a video of like, you eating a sandwich, and it would go a lot more viral than singing your heart out.
Yeah, now you're the sandwich guy as opposed to the guy with some crazy soulful voice.
Maybe we should Uber Eats some in here, and post it. I don't know.
No, that's the thing though. And somebody was talking about it the other day. It's like now in the music industry, is it more about personality or the music? You know? And I feel for me, it's like there are so many songs that just got me, like Angel Eyes. I'm not just saying that because y'all are here, but like that song got me as a kid, and it stuck with me, and I still listen to it. But I never like saw you guys on social media, like jumping in a pool or like dancing around, talking. Like that's not. To me, that wasn't ever the point of music.
We weren't allowed to film the things we were doing. We wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, for real. That's definitely a downside to growing up nowadays, for sure.
Yeah, no.
Gotta be a lot
we
more
oftentimes talk. We're like, man, social media was back then what it is now.
We'd either be canceled or really famous.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
There's a middle. There wouldn't have been a middle ground.
It's an interesting place to be, because it's like you don't know. Like, would that have been viral? Would it have been a moment? But then would have that have defined us as a certain type of artist?
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I'd like to think that our music is kind of spoken for itself, and that's the reason why we're still around and still getting to do cool stuff. But
yeah, the hunt for Eric in Myrtle Beach, where he disappeared and hid in an abandoned theme park, would have been pretty good content, I would say.
Yeah, when I was drinking, I had a thing. I'd like to hide from people in our crew and like make it a thing.
Nice.
We got to find Eric before we have
Where's
to leave.
Eric? We gotta go.
That's terrible.
It was always fun though.
Did you do it at sleepovers too when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, that was always my thing. Like,
Okay.
hey, let's hide and make everyone think I was kidnapped or disappeared. And parents really loved that one.
Didn't you do that at our cabin in Kentucky too? You were hiding it. Yeah, that's
Where
weird.
y'all
New
have a
Eve.
cabin in Kentucky?
Like in Kentucky, well, my mom's family did, and they just let us use it. But we wrote Whiskey on My Breath there and some other good songs.
Really?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to have a place that you can escape.
Oh my god!
You ever gotten to go out to Dallas's place and ride out there at all?
His farm?
Yeah.
So he's selling it.
I saw that. I posted
But
that the other day.
I haven't been there. What song? But I heard it's the best. He just bought a house out in. Obviously, I probably shouldn't say this.
No, yeah.
In Leaper's Fork. So
No, that's
we went
okay.
out there. He has got some land out there.
He's not moving to Australia?
I don't think so. Not yet. We'll see.
What's your social life like here in Nashville? How you enjoying that?
Social life's great. I've been able to make some great friends. We were talking about Grayson a minute ago. I know him through Elizabeth Nichols, who's one of my great friends. She is awesome. I met her through the Castellos. And yeah, so they're great. We met because our moms were friends, and
That's cool.
Put us in contact. And then
moms just connecting their kids.
of course, right?
I love that.
I mean, what else do they do?
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
Everything,
so
right?
much more. But that does seem to be a point that my mom tries to make a lot.
Yeah,
is
that's
you
awesome.
need to meet a lot of people, and so been doing that, and figured out that the lead singer for them, Lily, boyfriend is Till Cheshire, who's Luke Bryan's nephew, and Luke and I were on the show together, and so I started talking to Till, and we just became really good friends, and we've been shooting bows together and going to eat dinner together, and just a really great guy. I live with my guitarist as well, and he just started working for PIA as like an intern, and so yeah, it's been great. Aiden is his name, so we've been going out having a good time. Nashville's a party city, man.
Yeah, dude.
They get down over here.
Yeah, it is. It's
yeah, do you find you have to be careful at your age, like where you're sliding in,
where
you're going, where you're ending up at night?
I try and not go anywhere where I know like people, like big country music fans are, because I feel like I do get recognized sometimes a decent bit, and so if it were to happen, I would love it not to be awkward.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a interesting game, I'm sure, that you have to play.
It's an image,
like,
it's a brand. You got to keep your brand, and it's weird because some people would love it if you were seen in a bar like some people would be like Ty Myers,
right,
for example. He's killing it right now. I think he just turned 18, but he sings all about drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
And some people would love that, but like some people would hate that,
Right.
And I was on American Idol, and there's a lot of probably older fans that I have, and so
they're super judgmental.
Right,
like,
exactly.
He shouldn't be doing that.
Or protective. They're protective of him, Eric.
Yeah,
protective.
That's a good way of putting it.
Protective. Yeah.
Have you had any people that are just leaning into you and laying into you, I guess? Just like, oh, you shouldn't be out, shouldn't be doing this. You need to be careful.
Yeah, all the time. I get DMs all the time that are like, did I see a dip can in your pocket? And I'm like, no, those were mints.
Yeah.
And they're like,
no, I would never do that.
I thought you knew better. Like, I don't know you. Like,
right.
It's fine. You can leave.
Yeah, is that a thing you've had to deal with? People, I mean, I feel like this day and age, just in general, I mean, artists that I have never even met, but I followed for years on social media. It's almost, I feel like when I meet them, I'm like, hey, good to see you. Like, we're almost old buddies just because I feel so connected to them because of how involved they make you feel with their social media. Do you have to deal with that at all, where it's like people feel like they should have more access and are closer to you than they actually are?
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole creator thing is to show personality. It's to show who you are outside of music. And I just have a really tough time with that because I want to show my music. You know, I'm not confident in my. I mean, I am confident. I have a good personality, but like that's not what I moved to Nashville for. You know, I moved to Nashville for the music thing. Right. So on social media, there's a lot of pressure to do vlogs or do like a video of you talking. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
But I do what I had to do. If it's something that I'm comfortable with and I feel like it'll help, I will 100% do it.
Yeah.
If it's something that I feel is like a TikTok trend that I don't need to do, I'm like, I'm gonna just go write a song.
Yeah,
you know?
That's cool.
And I don't know if it's
cool
gonna
maturity.
I don't know if it's gonna bite me in the ass or if it's what I should be doing, but it's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm never gonna do anything that I'm not comfortable with when it comes to that kind of shit. You know.
Who are some of your biggest influences? I mean, I feel like you've got a lot of soul, a lot of maturity to your voice. I mean, I remember the first time I heard you sing, I was like, dang, that voice came out of somebody that age, and it blew me away, and it's impressive.
Well,
so who has inspired that? And
there's been a lot. I mean, obviously Chris Stapleton is probably probably my favorite, but I love old music, so like John Prine and like Guy Clark and all them. I just kind of grew up listening to older music. I also love classic rock, Eagles, all of them. But I also love Sturgill Simpson, Tyler Childers, them. I just love a different kind of, like when you can bring like a different kind of sound. Sometimes there's a certain respect that just automatically flips in my head, and it's if you can do your own thing and do what you're comfortable with, it'll show. Like you guys, I feel like y'all did that. Like you found your lane and you hit it. And I think that's my goal, and that's everybody's goal, but you have to be unique, and the songs have to be unique, and the lyrics have to be unique. And once you accomplish that, that's for me. That's the one thing I've been looking forward to, is hopefully getting a lot of music out there to where people can hear it and say, I'm not alone in that kind of thing. So I'd say influence-wise, I also love Marcus King. I mean, his voice is just ridiculous, and his guitar playing. I have a lot of influences to answer your question.
Well, I think that's evident in your music. And it does seem like you pull from a lot of things, but I think the cool thing about you is it's incredibly unique. And, a lot of people you can tell, like, oh, he's trying to be that. He's trying to be this. And I think one thing that's really cool about you is your voice is so unique. And I don't really, when I listen to you, I mean, even when we heard you out here at our showcase, it was just you and a guitar, and there were points where you could hear a pin drop in the room. It's normally just a loud, rowdy bar, but I think you kind of shut the room down, and everybody was really just hanging on every word. And it's
I liked it.
I appreciate it.
Steven stops and listens.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Sign.
I like it a lot.
But no, it was just very cool to see that, and I'm a fan, and it's fun to listen to you, and it's fun for us, having been in it for a little while, just to see, we've seen different waves of artistry and talent come through, and I think you've got some serious staying power, and I think, to see guys like Dallas, get excited about you.
We love Dallas, dude. He's a good person to have behind you, man.
We've been fans of his as a writer, and I mean, that we've both said for years, like, man, I wish Dallas was an artist. He's got one of the coolest voices.
Oh, I know, he really does.
The melodies that he comes up with they're different, and his phrasing and all that stuff.
And they're unique.
Yeah, so when you see a guy like that everybody in the business respects, at such a high level to see him be super excited. I mean, I remember seeing him in here one day. He's like, man, you guys got to meet this artist I'm working with.
Yeah, he said that.
He's incredible. And, you know, I mean, we've known Dallas for a long time.
Yeah,
he doesn't say that about a lot of people. He doesn't get excited about a lot
That's
of people.
very true.
And so when he's excited about someone, people pay attention. So.
Except for he took Running Out of Moonlight back from us after he said we could have it.
We won't hold it against him for forever.
No,
we're excited for him. It was a hit for him and for Randy. But
we were bummed.
I could see y'all on that song.
We had it, and we used it to get a record deal with Sony, and we showcased with it and everything. And he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, my boy Randy said he would cut it this week and release it as a single in like a couple weeks." And we were like, and we weren't in a place.
We were in the middle of like, you know, an album cycle on.
We weren't in a place where we could say that.
We were like, we don't know if it's gonna be picked as a single. Like, we'll pick it as one and say it'll come out tomorrow, but that's not our decision.
Dallas' sister was my roommate for a long time.
No way.
Yeah, her and my sister were like best mates, so I lived with them. Those two fun girls for a while, bro. I had to keep them alive a couple times, you know, but it was fun.
I get it. I got 3 younger sisters.
Yeah.
So
you understand it then.
Yeah, you got to keep them alive sometimes.
Who's your best friend that you made from American Idol? Like one of them.
One of my best friends, I'd say there's some great people, you know, Che and Jamal and all them. But I'd say number one be probably Thunderstorm. Thunderstorm is one of my best buddies. From Hollywood Week on, I was one of the younger ones, so I think I was the youngest one towards the end there, but he just always made me feel real comfortable. His voice is so incredible, and the way that we communicated, it was very open and honest. We told each other's life stories almost like the first 2 days we met.
Nice.
And his family's great. His kids are great. I was actually just with him for his Opry debut.
Nice.
And he just signed with the Warren Treaty
nice.
for their management.
Oh, okay.
So he's under there. And he's just a great guy. I mean, I don't think he would hurt a fly. You know what I mean?
That's great.
He cares so deeply about everybody, which is really
that's cool.
It's just an awesome thing, you know.
That's
and it's
great.
good to have that, especially when you're on a TV show when it's one of the most stressful things that could be happening.
I bet.
You know.
Yeah. Did you feel like on Idol that some of the friends you made were legitimate friends in the sense that they really you guys were cheering each other on and wanted to see each other win as opposed to like
it looks like that on TV, but you never really know.
Right. Well, there's some people, right? Obviously, like names aren't important, but there are some people who really want to see everybody do well. And that I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
If you're respectful to me and nice, like I want the best for you. You know what I mean? Even if you're not, I still want the best for you. But there are some people who just, you know, were too focused on the competition as opposed to making friends, and I guess that's one way to look at it. You can look at life like that. You can go through life being an asshole and making money, but where do you find happiness? You know, and for me, I think that's finding that in other people. And there are some people on that show who 100% feel the same way and showed me the respect that, you know, sometimes you don't always get on things like that. Yeah. So it was, you know who those people are, and then you know who they aren't, you know. So there was definitely a lot of it is very genuine. Of course, it's TV, so they're going to show things that aren't. But a lot of it, I'd say 98% of the interactions are genuine. You know what I mean?
Great.
You have a girlfriend?
I did. Moved to town. She was out.
Yeah.
All right.
She's in college, though. So.
All right, you heard it here, guys. He's single.
That's right.
Is the dating, what's the dating world like here in Nashville for you?
It's been, well, I hadn't really gotten into it just because I just got out of that, you know, but there's a lot of really great places with some great looking people around.
Where do you go like to meet like local girls that aren't from out of town that maybe aren't like here to try and meet you? Like what are the spots here in town?
There's some great sports bars pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Neighbors are great.
If they like sports, that's already like one huge check off the list.
Yeah.
All right, she's here to watch football on Saturday. Okay, that's a good.
Neighbors in Sylvan Park is great. I mean, me and my buddies will go there and we eat fried pickles all day and just sit there
I love it.
And just watch the games, even on like Sundays when we're tired. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just a good it's a great town.
It is.
We're over in like the West End, so over by Vanderbilt, and there's a lot of young life over there. But I have a couple buddies who go to Vanderbilt, and they're just, it's crazy. Like if I had gone to Ole Miss like I was supposed to, the amount of work that I would be putting in versus the amount of work they're putting in, they study every day.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Their schedules are crazy, and so I've met some great friends over there, and then a couple other people over there. But
there's here at Losers and Duck Blind, there's
pretty
usually
awesome
a great young crowd that comes over from Belmont and Vandy being so close here.
Absolutely, yeah. I need to start coming here more, but it just gets so packed, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. But
you can kind of be a barfly at that point where you know there's so many people around. It's like, oh, we're not expecting to see anybody famous or people that we recognize. And then usually those are the nights where it's you look around and it's the who's who of entertainers and people. But that's the great thing about this spot is people are largely unnoticed here, and people come here just because there's not. All those people that are looking for famous people, there's kind of an understood thing at Losers that people kind of go unbothered, and I think that's a great.
Because Ernest and Post come in here all the time, right?
Yeah, they're out there on the deck hanging out in that VIP area all the time.
Yeah.
I was over there the other night, and I think Gavin Adcock and Tucker Wetmore were both over there.
That's awesome.
It's just people are around. They feel comfortable here.
I was able to meet Tucker when I went to the CMAs this year, and it was a night honoring Eric Church at maybe ACM.
ACM Honors?
Yeah, that's what it was. And Tucker was there, and I got to meet him. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I mean, I'm a fan of his music.
Yeah, I mean, he's crushing it.
What he's doing. I mean, I think he's taken a lot of what's successful out there right now, and he's 100%. Found his own lane. And like you said, he's kind of got his head down. He's doing his thing, and. Some people called him like Morgan Wallen Light at the beginning, and I think he's really like.
I think that pissed him off. I think.
I think it lit a fire under his ass.
And
it's cool. I mean, obviously you're going to hear similarities in people's voices, and obviously Morgan's one of the biggest things on the planet. So
I wonder how far he can throw a chair, though. You know what I mean? That's the test.
That's
the big test.
He's a football player, I think.
I know. I'm saying
he's a good athlete.
He's
so he probably.
That's what I'm saying. He might be
probably launch it a good ways further, in my opinion.
Yeah, might not land next to the cop car this time.
Yeah, it might actually land it on the cop car.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
Which would have probably been a bit of a bigger issue for him.
Probably.
Maybe you could have made it to another rooftop, like all the way from one to the other. That'd be sick.
We need to have some challenges.
I honestly, at this point, it needs to be like, we got to figure something out to where it's just like beanbag throwing. Across,
100%. If George Jones can get a DUI on a tractor, I mean,
oh my God,
throwing a chair off a roof shouldn't be that.
We need zip lines across Broadway. That'd be so fun.
Dude, if they could do that from the top of Broadway to the bottom, like Fremont Street, that would be incredible.
No traffic.
Just zipping across.
That'd
be amazing.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I was in downtown on Saturday, and golly, they love that. People love that place.
Oh, it's nuts.
I can only be there for like one night.
Yeah.
And then it's just so many people. You turn around and it's shoulder to shoulder with people you've never seen before. But it's one of the coolest things about this place.
It is.
So many people can come to one spot and gather and have fun. And like obviously there's a lot of shit that happens on Broadway, but it's never like, you don't like watch people die out there.
No.
It's just people drunk idiots.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fun to watch.
I mean, you can go down there and just hang out in the street, and people watch for hours, and it's entertaining. I know people that literally don't even go in and drink anywhere. They literally just go to hang out and people watch.
And it's a good spot for that.
It is.
It's great. I mean, we did a business thing. We were celebrating Faith Hopkins, who's on PIA, and she signed to Warner Chapel on publishing, I think, and she had her EP come out, so we all partied out there, and we were out there till like 2.
Nice.
You can get lost pretty easily. Of course, the one night you're like, oh, I'm gonna take it easy tonight.
I try not to sound like the old guy that's like, oh, my bedtime's early, but like it's crazy to go down there. And like we played a show at Chiefs one night, and just even parking in the parking garage trying to get home at like midnight. I'm like, man, I haven't been down here in a while, but this is so different than it used to be. Yeah. But you see why the city's booming like it is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we play shows all around the country, and it used to be like, oh, you should come visit Nashville. it's an amazing town. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I'd love to check it out someday. And it's like, oh yeah, we were in Nashville last weekend. Oh, we're going this weekend. It's like people just seems like this is the new Vegas. People come here.
Really? It is
as
the
a
new
weekend kind of escape and getaway. You know, you can hear live music everywhere.
Vegas hates us now.
I mean, I've literally been waiting. I'm trying to. So I just got a dog.
Congrats.
What
I'm
kind?
Very excited. It's a golden
What brand
retriever.
did you get?
It's a field-bred golden, so
that's nice.
we're gonna get some hunting done.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it's great to move into this town, like you said, but it's so sought after. I went on Zillow to look at like cheap houses to rent, and there's like 3 houses to rent in like 20 minutes outside of town.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This place is only gonna go up. Too, you know, and so I think it's great. I'm so happy that I'm in a developing area.
Yes.
You know, because
I like it too.
Atlanta's great where I'm from. It's just stale to me. There's not much to do.
You like Atlanta? Wow, you're one of the few people I know.
I never said I liked it.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No.
Stale.
Yeah, I'm really glad to be here. I always wanted to move out of Atlanta, but I thought I was going to move to, like, after college, I was going to move to, like, Colorado or something, you know, like somewhere way out. But this place, to me, I don't see myself not living in Tennessee ever.
Yeah. The same for me.
Yeah, I told my wife, I was like, the only place I would want to move is maybe the beach.
Right.
And I never would want to not have a place here in Nashville. I mean,
Exactly.
You know, I've lived here longer than anywhere else. It feels like home. I mean,
100%.
It's an amazing town to raise a family in. I mean, and you have everything here. I mean, it's so centrally located. I mean, it's a great place for kids to grow up. I mean, sure, they can play music, they can be athlete, but I mean, you know, you have everything at your fingertips.
Yeah, you can go hunting. I mean, there's
you can hunt. You can fish at any, like, 4 lakes within 45 minutes. Yeah. If you're like, hey guys, let's go out tonight. Let's have a nice dinner before we go out into town. Where do you go? What's your nice dinner spot?
I really like Brick Tops.
Yeah, Brick Tops is
so
good.
damn good because it's like
it's close to you too, right?
Oh yeah, literally
you can walk.
1 minute.
Yeah.
But it's basically it's the same as Houston's, which we had in Atlanta. Oh shoot, I don't know if y'all have that in Atlanta.
We know Houston's
or here, but yeah, it's the best. That French dip is unbeatable for me.
Oh, I've had it. It's
so
that's
good.
the go-to.
And you can get a little sushi roll there if you feel like it for lunch. You know,
freaky.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's fun.
How's the like? I don't know. I think back to when I was your age, and like it was the furthest thing from my mind was like mental health and psychology and everything. But I think like in this day and age, you know, it's becoming really popular, and there's a 100%. Lot of Instagram psychologists and people that are out there putting things out there like, oh, this is what you should be focused on, and like I don't feel like I had that at my fingertips back then. I think you know you have to figure out so much on your own, and you have to fail and crash and burn, but I feel like now there's a lot of resources out there to kind of advise you like, okay, go this route, try to do this. Have you found, you know, that you lean into any of that, or you pay attention to any of that?
100%. I think I overlooked mental health for so long, and then it hit me, especially when I moved here, because I'm like, you know, about to be 19, living in a town as an adult, working like an adult. And all my friends are, you know, getting hammered every night in college, having fun, you know, making all these friends.
Getting a degree.
Right. Yeah. And so that really took a toll on me for a while. And even like the whole breakup thing, you know, it just got me. And so I, for so long, overlooked it. And my dad, you know, he's older than y'all, and he said the same thing. He's like, I was never helped like this when I was a kid. And I think it's so important that that's being done because everyone needs help. Yeah. Like I, for so long, thought I was just such a badass to where I didn't need help mentally. But like once I started going to see somebody, it really changed the way I look at things. And it made me more happy to do the things I love and worry about the things that I don't love later. You know what I mean? I think mental health is just, it's one of those things where it's talked about a lot. Some people think it's talked about too much, but I think it couldn't be emphasized enough.
Yeah, I agree.
I think with everything going on right now, especially, it's like this world is crazy, and you have, as humans, it's natural to feel like you're going a little crazy sometimes. Because the world's crazy. So I'm grateful for the help that I have, and I think it's very important to to know your worth and things like that, and it can be hard to find that event like once you're starting out.
Yeah. Did you find that some of that was offered to you on American Idol? Like, did they have people like, hey, if you're struggling with this, if you need somebody to talk to, and did that make it easier for you once you got here to not feel like that's a sign of weakness,
right?
But actually a sign of strength, and like knowing that, like, hey, I actually could use some help right now, and there are these resources that are out there for guys like me. And I think especially for someone that's 19 years old, you know, like okay, you haven't had to deal with all this stuff yet to where you would even need any help for that. And it's like, no, like the earlier the better. I mean, being able to talk about things instead of keeping it bottled up, and then okay, all of a sudden 10 years from now, you know, you've had this roller coaster wild ride, and it's like you finally have a second to breathe, and you're like, shit, I don't even know if I've actually enjoyed this or could appreciate what I was experiencing because I've been so wrapped up in what's the next big thing and the next benchmark that I have to get to.
It's exactly what I talked to my counselor about. It's American Idol had a great team for that, and if you needed them, they would be there in a second. But I've been with this other person for so long. We just Zoom call, and that is the one thing. Is just, you know, I always worry about, am I doing enough? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna play this show? Am I gonna play this award show? Am I gonna do this? And sometimes you just gotta realize you were doing enough. You know, like writing every day at 11 a.m., sometimes twice a day, y'all know. Putting yourself out there, singing and pitching songs to a label, like that takes a lot out of you, you know? And so it's important. What I've learned is it's important to take care of myself. And I think I didn't do that for a really long time. And so now I'm able to start doing that, which is great. There's still a lot of times where I need a lot of help, but, you know, it's a lot better than what it would have been if I hadn't said, hey, I need some help, you know.
Do you find when you look at the culture and the lifestyle, I mean, especially in this town, I think it's happening on a, you know, nationwide and almost like a global level, but like there's, I don't know, I'd say this generation is like kind of 50-50. Like when we were getting into the business, it's like, okay, if you don't drink, you're an outcast because this business revolves around alcohol. It's like, you know, we're going out with a radio guy, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna party, we're gonna drink, we're gonna give this guy an experience and give him a night, you know, on the bus as a rock star.
Night that he'll never forget.
Night he'll never forget. Song Dallas wrote that we cut.
Hey.
But I don't know. Do you find that you're looking at it as, okay, this is a slippery slope, or like, no, I've got resources around me, I'm good, I've got this? Like, do you have people in your ear that are like, hey, you know, it's easy to get sucked into this lifestyle, try to do this? Like, I'm just curious.
When I moved to Nashville, that's all people told me was, you know, stay away from the people who are going to be trying to give you stuff and things like that. I have not felt pressured to do it more than at home at all.
Good.
You know?
Good.
So if I want to indulge in anything, I can do it responsibly. If it ever gets to a point where I can't, like, that's when things need to change. And I haven't gotten there, and you know, I have a long way to go. I'm dancing around the word, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's just it's a dance. It's can you just like anything in life, can you do it to just a right amount, or are you going to overdo it or underdo it, you know?
And I think life is all about balance. I mean,
100%.
I think we focus so hard on like the addiction side of things. It's like, oh, you got to be careful you don't get addicted.
Right.
Like, I mean, my son asked me last night, he's like, Dad, is weed addictive? I'm like, I mean, it can be. And I got to thinking, I'm like, you can develop habits. Like, just because something doesn't have an addictive property, you can become addicted.
I'm addicted to watching football.
Me
like
too.
highly addicted.
Same.
And it's like we excuse one thing, but we, you know, demonize another. It's like, I mean, I think we're all just trying to find things that make us happy, that give us and bring us joy.
Like dudes in tight pants, like running around on the field with balls and just
big,
like
strong guys,
hitting each other on the butts and just like tackling each other and laying in a pile on the grass. So it's one of my favorite things.
Would you say you're addicted to that?
Yeah, I'm addicted to it. If you break it down.
You never know. I mean, that's not where I was gonna take that, but it really makes you stop and think.
Would you say it one more time? Guys running around in tight pants.
Guys in tight pants, balls hitting each other on the
passing
butt.
balls around.
Okay.
Right, so this is making a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm breaking it down, I might need to talk to somebody.
That might be one of the addictions we don't want to have.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Easier said than done. Said than done.
But yeah, you're so right. A lot of people criticize people for doing other things when drinking is one of the lead causes of death. You know? So it's really hard to. For me, it's just like judging somebody because they're different. Like if you have something that you have clinged on to for a while, and it's helped you through things such as like alcohol or weed, whatever it is, or maybe it's none of those, right? Maybe it's dancing, singing, whatever. Maybe it's both. You should be able to do that. That's your freedom. Yeah. You know, you should be able to do that without people saying, "Oh, he's a drug addict," or he's a, But you have to keep in mind that as soon as you go over that line, people are going to see it, and that's when you have to be careful of.
And it's a shame because I think in this day and age, people are so quick to judge, and it's like, oh, he's awful because he's doing this, but it's like, I want to take a second and step back and be like, he's clearly going through something. There's some pain there, and we're quick to judge, like, oh, he shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing this, and then they clean their act up, they start doing, living their life differently, and now all of a sudden these same fans start complaining about the music.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't feel, there's no that angst, that pain isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Everybody's like, what is he doing? I went and saw him the other day, and he's just smiling the whole time. Like, that's what it's for. Yep. You're supposed to be happy.
Yeah, but people like the fact they loved his music when he was in a dark spot.
Yeah,
like we want that so Tyler back. I'm like, man, the guy's at in the best place he's ever been.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let's be happy for that. Let's cheer that on. Instead, we're giving this guy a complex because he's now probably just in this internal battle of, okay, I need to give the fans what they want, but I also need to be real and authentic, and this is where I'm at, and this is how I'm going to live my life, and this is how I'm going to put myself out there.
100%.
So it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, and people are never happy, and I think we live in an era where people just want instant gratification, and they're so quick to just talk shit on the internet, and then
100%.
It's like you were saying, like post and ghost. That's so hard,
so hard,
because you want to check what people are saying about your music. You put a new song out there, and you're super passionate about it. You worked your ass off. It came from a really real place. Like, say you wrote a song about your breakup, and you put it out there, and then you're just raked over the coals because of it or something. It's like, oh, okay, I'm trying to be authentic and be vulnerable, and now I'm getting judged for that. Is that something that you think about when you're writing, or you think 100%. About when you're putting something out or when you're posting?
I think I'm the biggest judge of myself. Like I judge myself more than anybody does, but I trick myself into thinking everyone's judging me. Yeah. And so when I'm writing a song, sometimes that can really get in the way. But what I've noticed is once I just actually do the shit that I know I'm feeling, and I write that down, and I write with no thoughts other than this is how I feel, those are the best songs.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I worry about what songs that I want to put out, what my image will look like. What if I do like a sexy song, would that make people weirded out?
Right.
If I did, would they love it? If I did like a love song, would that be too typical? It's like it's a big battle internally and with your team, but it's also part of it. You have to be judgmental. You have to be critical. I won't say judgmental. Like, you have to be critical in a constructive way, to where you're not tearing yourself down, because there's a lot of music out there. Yeah. There's a lot of good music out there, and the goal is to beat it, essentially. Yeah. And the goal is to have people listen to it and say, "Oh, I'm not alone." I feel that way too. So I think there's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, it's, if you want the right product out there and you want the right feeling to be out there, you have to be authentic. You can't sit in your room like I do sometimes and say, "Oh, that kid from high school, what if he heard that lyric? He would make fun of me." Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what? It's my song.
High school.
Yeah, and I think it's cool you have the freedom to, like you were saying, you can almost dance around where you're at emotionally, and
right.
I don't think you ever have to be right here in this 100% healthy spot. Because that's unrealistic. I mean, if you have that expectation on yourself, I mean, you're always going to be disappointing yourself. So I mean, I think if you give yourself the grace and the freedom to move around that and to be nimble emotionally, and I think that allows you to be, you know, nimble creatively too.
Yeah.
You're not always just kind of laser focused on, oh, I got to be healthy, I got to be this, I got to be that, because like we were saying, great things can come out of those depressed moments and those, you know, those sad places and those dark places, and you're going to have those.
Right.
I mean, you can't expect to not have that.
That's what, like you said, I mean, that's what makes the songs. I mean, y'all wrote, how God knows how many songs, but how many of those were you, like, the ones that went big, like, were you, I'm sure you remember writing that song and saying, like, wow, either this really hurt or this was, you know, whatever it was about. Like, I feel like the more authentic you are, the better it'll turn out, even if it's very vulnerable, you know?
Yeah. What are some of your goals? You know, I mean, I feel like you've already checked a lot of boxes that, you know, some people have been in this town for 20 years. Can't say they've done some of the stuff that you've been able to do. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to achieving that you haven't yet, and also what you have had, you know, you've had some pretty monumental things happen so far.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, you're right. I am in a very blessed situation to where a lot of people, you know, they move here and that they're playing Broadway and things like that. And I did 4 years of playing bars, so I had that experience. And I did Idol, which propelled me drastically, but at the same time, I have so much more to go. 180,000 followers on Instagram is awesome, but what happens then? You know, you have to keep them engaged. You have to keep everybody engaged. And for me, and you have to gain more people. My goal is for people to hear my music, like I said, and say, I'm not alone. I relate to that. I like this guy. Let's hear some more of his music. So for me, my goal is to just make sure that I'm getting enough music out there that's authentic and different than what is being pushed all the time now. Yeah. And what can speak to somebody. Like, I think when Stapleton came along, his stuff was under the country genre, but it was different than other stuff that was in the country genre. Yeah. And I think for me, I'm just trying to find that lane to where I can be in the country genre, but also, you know, be unique. And so my goal would be to, you know, eventually one day, hopefully play the CMAs or something like that, you know, and that would be awesome. For now, it's a long way up there. So I think my goal for this year is to write as many songs as I can, keep them authentic, play as many shows as I can, and, you know, just try and work on myself outside of music too. Yeah. You know, I'm starting to work out a little bit, like things like that I never really have done because I like challenging myself. Got a dog, great. You know, like that. That's going to flip my life a little bit for sure. I might have something I have to take care of every day.
It's a lot of work.
Licking my face when I'm waking up. You know, why are you doing that at 6 a.m.? That's the kind of
But even that, it's a stepping stone. I mean, you're learning how to take care of something other than yourself. You're preparing yourself to maybe have kids one day.
Right.
And, you know, there's always going to be people that are depending on you. I mean, even in your band. It's like you have a bunch of guys now that are dependent on you, and you're the leader. And you know, whether they're all older than you or not doesn't matter. Right. They're looking to you for, you know, who they're going to take their cues from, and I think, you know, everything they're building blocks and stepping stones for what comes later in life, and I think it's cool to watch. You know, it seems like you have your head screwed on real straight, and you got an amazing team of people around you. So
yeah, it sounds like you got a great team, which is like so important.
Yeah.
You just had a new song come out too, right?
Yes, just had one come out. It's called Foolish Pride. I wrote it. I was 15, played it on the show, and then it got a little traction on the show, and I never thought anybody would want me to release it, but just all the comments were just, for months and months, I had DMs and comments on my posts that were not even related to the song, like, when is this song coming out?
That's awesome.
And so we worked really hard and got a great studio version of it. It's up now everywhere, so
nice. Foolish Pride.
Really happy about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, maybe we can get you to play it for us here in a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming on today.
Hey,
yeah, dude.
It's really been
awesome.
a pleasure to sit down with you. I'm really excited to watch what happens with your career. It's been
Likewise.
fun to watch, as you know, so far, and
yeah,
you know, again, like I said, your team's amazing, and I think you got a really bright future ahead of you. So thanks for sitting down with us. Thanks for taking the time out today, and look forward to watching you.
Yeah,
so everybody, check him out, Slater Nalley, crushing the game. Check out his new song, and hit us up if you want to come on the show, and follow our socials to see the performance of Slater coming up.
Definitely.
We'll see y'all next time.